This is the artist formerly known as Daryl Van Horn, James Mitchell, the Sinister Minister, and I'm here to let you know I would rather slam my cock in a car door than to miss the dulcet tones of Hard Body Harper, my illegitimate son, on Booking the Territory podcast.
Woo, Messi, this is professional wrestler Jimmy Valiant, the Boogie Woogie Man. Tell my people, my brothers and sisters, don't you dare miss Booking the Territory. Oh, yeah.
This is the one-man gang. You're listening to Booking the Territory Pro Wrestling Podcast.
Welcome back, everyone, to this week's episode of Booking the Territory, the Unprofessional Wrestling Podcast. For today, we are talking NWA Saturday Night on TBS from February the 10th, 1990. We're coming off a big Clash of the Champions that was recorded a few days ago and should have aired by now, and hopefully you did enjoy it. That way you can follow along with us chronologically. You can only get that on Patreon at tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. Thanks to all the patrons out there. Now, I am sitting here with not Doc Turner, because he's still in Mexico, and by all accounts, with all the text messages I've gotten from him this week, he's just ridiculously drunk because he's an alcoholic, and that's a shoot. I'm sitting here with Mike Crockett. We're waiting on Hard Body Harper. Lord knows where he is or where his tongue currently is, but I'll welcome in Crockett. How are you, sir?
I'm doing all right, Mike Mills. How you doing tonight?
I'm living the dream, brother.
As always. That's
all you can do.
I don't know if I'm in the JV group. If I am in a JV member, I'm like way at the bottom.
So, that's a good question. The JV Goon Squad was born from something that Sparks said, Sean Sparks, who does the NWA cast on the Patreon feed. And he's done a bunch of live streams with me and done various other Patreon shows. That term was born, I think, from him. I think he may have mentioned it the first time, and then Doc mentioned it, and Sparks ran with it and was like, "Yeah, I'll take that moniker." It's hard to call you Goon Squad, man. You had a successful podcast of your own about New England pro wrestling and independent wrestling there, but you also covered many of other things, and like we were talking about on the Patreon show, you had tons of episodes with some great ROH talents who are now WWE talents. So it's kind of hard to call you JV Goon Squad. I mean, when you've got Kofi Kingston's number and you can just call him at any moment and send him a text message, I can't call you Goon Squad, man. You've got connections to the stars.
Yeah, and stop asking for Sasha Banks' number. You're not getting
it. You know good. You know good and well I've never said that to you. It's some idiot out there is gonna be like, "Did you hear what Crockett said about Mills asking for Sasha's number?" Oh, she's a married woman, people. I don't think I've talked about her in at least a year on this show, but somebody's going to decide to run with it and go somewhere with it. But no. Warbeard Hansen, you talked to all of them, man. You're like I called you on the Patreon show, Referee of the Stars, because not only did you work with them, you trained with them because you all kind of got started at the same school. Not around the same time, obviously, but yeah.
Yeah. It's all connected to kind of Killer Kowalski school, which, where the great Triple H trained. Mike, I know you're a huge fan, but that kind of morphed into. We'll talk more about Triple H later. That kind of morphed into the Chaotic School, and now the New England Pro Wrestling Academy. Yeah, all those. Kofi Kingston, Brian Malonis, my former partner on the wrestling podcast About Nothing, Kofi Kingston, did I mention Ivar? Yeah, a bunch of those guys. Yeah, Warbeard Hansen, who became or is now Ivar. It was
Tommaso Ciampa.
Yeah, Tommaso Ciampa as well. Yeah, it's kind of funny, like all those guys should have been there years ago. It took a little longer. I guess probably makes it more worth it in the end. You feel like you kind of went through something to get there, especially like a guy like Ivar who was on the Indies for probably 15 years before he got got the call. So Yeah, I never got the call. I just kind of petered out and started doing podcasts. And yeah, I guess I'm not a JV guy because I'm not seeing a cut of that JV T-shirt. So
The JV Goon Squad, so fastly becoming one of the better shirts selling on our Pro Wrestling Tee store. I do have to say, the JV Goon Squad T-shirt, man. Everybody, I don't know, man. I actually very much like the design, and it's moved fairly well on the store. So yeah, good stuff there, man. But Crockett doesn't like to toot his own horn. But yeah, they all got the call up, but he got left behind. Even his referee friend, Todd Sinclair, ROH referee, senior official there, he got the call up, and but Crockett's still sitting on the. He's with me here podcasting, not bouncing around the ring. Neither did I ever get a call up for that matter.
Yeah, there's another referee too. Also got he's in WWE now, called Sean Bennett. Then another guy who is a wrestler. They converted him into a referee. And now he's on WWF TV as well. So yeah.
So
I don't
you're
know.
the lone wolf. What happened?
I don't know. Not good enough, I guess.
Well, I love the story you told. I love the story you told on the Wrestling Podcast About Nothing years ago. You were refereeing an ROH match. And I think it was an Evan Bourne match, right?
Yes.
And you said you just felt so small because you're in the ring and you go down to make the count, but as you went down, your hand slapped, which the crowd took that as the one count as you were dropping down to make the count. So then when you're on one, they think you're on two. When you're on two, they think you're on three. And it went off like a fart in church.
Oh no! I actually got a big pop because I thought he won. So,
so how did the crowd?
And they were just confused.
There was a lot of confusion, Crockett. Good job. No.
Yeah, and you failed to mention that that was the one Evan Bourne / Matt Sydal. That was the false finish that he really pointed out to me. Really make this this is going to be my big false finish. So as long as you don't fuck this up.
And you messed it up. What year
Yeah,
was
that might have been the last
ROH?
time I was in ROH.
What year was that? Do you remember?
Oh shit. I no. It's what is it, like 2007, 8, 9? I don't know, it all runs together.
Yeah, I've the more, I mean, I haven't had a match in a ring in so many years. Like the older I get, I'm like, I think it was 07 or 08 the last time I would have done that. But I just get to the point where it's like, it feels like such a distant memory. And that's probably a good thing. But anyway.
Yeah. Gabe Sapolsky was still booking whenever that was. So that was quite a ways back in ROH.
Oh my God. You must have felt terrible.
Yes. Like you said, very small. And
Well,
it was.
I think it happens. Okay, that nothing like that happened to me, but one time I was on the outside and I was supposed to catch a guy, and I completely misjudged him. I felt very small, and that's all I'll say. And he didn't die, thank God. But it was just one of those things. It was like a brain fart. It happens, and you feel like shit. There's no other way to say it. So yeah, it happens, Crockett. That's why we never got the call up. Although I think you were closer than I was because your school put out a lot more than mine did. Oh boy.
Who's the star pupil at your school?
Well, that's hard to say because I'll say this. Like, the guy I started with was not the guy I trained with later on. So if you're going by that quote unquote school, the only name that ever really was on any notable TV would have been Kevin Northcutt in TNA in the very, very early days of TNA. And you got to remember, like, I got started in the mid 90s. I mean, this was a long time ago now. Now I wasn't there when, Rod Price trained, Jazz and Rodney Mack. But you know, I credit Rod for taking care of me. Let me just put it like that. So, you know, Jazz and Rodney Mack obviously are, you know, they went on to, I'll call them stars. I mean, they were on, you know, they were in WWE, and Jazz was a women's champion. So yeah, that would have been, but again, it's hard to say, like, cause I never really knew them. Met them years later, but never really knew them. And I don't want to lead on like I even know them well now. I don't. But yeah, that would have been the closest to. I mean, obviously, Killer Kowalski's school and the legacy of his school, which is now named something else. I mean, you all have put out tremendous talent. I mean, just between like Sasha, Donovan Dijak, T-Bar, Warbeard Hansen. I'll give Triple H his credit. I ain't got nothing against him. I mean, he's a hell of a talent. He's got a hell of an ego too. And yeah, that's that.
Wait,
but I mean,
you said you had nothing against him. Is that correct?
yeah. But no, I mean, your school, the school you were at and trained at, put out many a stars and many a current stars. That's the thing. I mean, Kofi. I was joking earlier about, you having Kofi's number, but I'm not going to joke. Like Crockett told the story on the WPAN, when Kofi won the WWE title at, it was 2 or 3 WrestleManias ago. I can't remember when it was now. Crockett sent Kofi a text message and Kofi responded, "Thank you, Crockett." So, I mean, he literally, he's on a first name basis with Kofi Kingston. It's not a joke. I was telling the truth. So those are cool stories. Anyway, I mean, I say that because those are cool stories when you think of, I look at Kofi as a star and I've got a lot of respect for him. So anyway, Crockett's got connections. He'll never toot his horn. And that was the moral of my story from the beginning of this.
Well, thanks for putting me over, buddy.
I try. I mean, as long as you don't come on this show and pull a Lance where like Lance took a shit on Arn Anderson many years ago, and he still hasn't lived it down. So as long as you don't take a dump on Arn Anderson, I think we'll be good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean Ole all day, but Arn, no, I'll stay clear of him.
Yeah, stay clear. All right, a couple things before we get into this episode. I want to mention shout out to our largest page contributors month, Disrespectfully Classy, Marky Blassie, Mike Childry, Jeremy Priest, and Joe Ice. A couple weeks ago, I even called Jeremy Priest Jeremy Ice. I messed it up. So, Jeremy, got it right this time. I just wanted to mention that to you. Harper is calling me right now. I have no clue what he wants. Hold on 1 second. Yes, hold on. Let me see what he wants.
Okay.
Hey, Harper, we're recording. Oh, you on? That's why you calling me? Yeah. Okay. Let me. Oh, I'm on. I probably just didn't hit the little green bubble. I'm gonna leave this in. I'm not gonna edit this out. That's how unprofessional we are. Let me call you now, man. Hang up. All right, man. Later. All right, we're conferencing him in. He said he called me because my little bubble on Skype is not green. Sometimes I do that because I got a lot of contacts and I'll get called in the middle of a show, so I'll just show offline. But anyway, shout out to the largest page contributors monthly out there. And one new patron this week, Dennis H. Thank you, Dennis, new annual Patreon member. And with that note, thank you, Dennis, for signing up. Harper, are you on?
Yeah, bro. I can't find my fucking headphones.
Bullshit.
So, bro, I've been for 10 minutes. I don't know where in the fuck they are. And I got the ones I stepped on, and the earpiece is hanging off, and I look like a fucking idiot.
This is a rib.
Bro.
This is a rib. He's ribbing me.
It sucks because the other side's broken, so the plastic is just digging to my fucking ear.
Why don't you go get some tissue or something, or a paper towel, and
Fuck,
just
I
at
ain't
least
worried
pat
about
it?
that shit, bro.
Oh, okay.
Suck
well,
it
why are
up.
you complaining then?
I'm just saying, because I can only hear you through one fucking earpiece.
Well, that'll work. Put some tussin on it. It'll be okay.
This is bullshit.
Hey,
I gotta hold it up to my ear like I'm a fucking DJ.
Well, wow. And you can't find the other one.
Bruh, I don't know where in the fuck they gotta be right here. I don't know where the
Somebody
fuck
told me to buy a 12-pack for you, and I think that's what I'm going to do.
You should.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Oh, this is great. As you know, Doc's not with us this week. We got Mean Mike Crockett on. So, are you gonna do him like you did last time? Where you're like, who the fuck's this guy? Where's Lance?
Where's Lance?
I did the World Class show with him last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, you saw fucking SMU's the new uniforms?
No.
Those, bruh, they look nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the white jersey that's got Dallas in script. Going against the chest.
It looks good.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna have to put that on my radar, Harper, and see what it looks like.
All right.
Go Mustangs. Go Mustangs.
Yeah, I got the Kerry Von Erich autograph 8x10 I got when I was 6 years old. The fuck? Grow up, dork.
I got a program from 1983. I never tell you about the time Michael Hayes, after I got the autograph, he farted on it. I love Lance. That's my guy, man. Oh, but anyway,
like Paul Saul, huh?
What'd you say?
On the screen.
Oh, the Bic commercial. Yeah, that does look like him. Let me rewind it because we're gonna get started on this episode shortly. We got a lot to discuss. Harper, I know you didn't watch the Clash, so there's a bunch of recaps in here. I don't know how much we're gonna talk about these recaps, but anyway, Crockett, did you want to mention anything else before we get into the main show?
No 5-star reviews, buddy.
No 5-star reviews. I need people to get on their job.
You fucking dicks. Hold on, I put a sock between my ear and the fucking headphone.
You gotta take a picture of this.
Post it.
We're gonna see this fucking.
Post it, Harper. Dead serious. Post it in the Facebook group, for real. Because this is just tremendous. Let me tell you a funny story. So like Pro Wrestling Tees, when you're a BTT Hall of Famer, at a certain point you get a Pro Wrestling Tees gift card for being a BTT Hall of Famer. And so what I do is I send out the emails to the Hall of Famers when it's their time to get their card, and I say, hey, respond to this email. Make sure I know this email is monitored, and then get your card sent out to you. And oftentimes people will say, put that card, don't send it to me, put it in the Harper headset fund, because Harper's on headset number 6 at this point. And on that note, I think we'll get started on this week's episode of Saturday Night on TBS. We are covering February 10th, 1990. The show opens up. We see a replay of what went down at the Clash of Champions. Yes, Sting is kicked out of the Horsemen. And if you want to know more about that, listen to our review on Patreon at tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. We then immediately go to Center Stage with Jim Ross, and JR calls what happened tragic, and Cornette says he saw it coming all the time. Of course he did. Plus, we're going to get an update later on today on the U.S. Tag Title Tournament. I will say this, Harper, you've got access to my Google Drive where this Clash is at.
Yeah.
You probably want to go watch it just to hear Jim Cornette's. How many times do you think he got canceled on commentary that night, Crockett?
Oh, it was 4 or 5.
I'll mention one thing he said. He made a joke about not a lot of hillbillies at the building, right, Crockett?
Yes.
And then he said, but I see there's a lot of Mexican people here. The Border Patrol must not be doing a good job. That was one thing. And then he said Mexicans aren't good, are wonderful people. They're good people. Everybody should own one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And Jim Ross, Crockett will back me up on this, completely no-sells it each time, because he's just like, dude, you're over the top. I can't deal with this. So it's very interesting. Crockett, did you have anything from the opening with these two?
No.
So I know what Harper's going to say. He's going to say, no! So on that note, we'll keep the show moving. We go to the first match. We got Norman the Lunatic versus Pat Rose. Norman comes out to shout. We've seen this a bunch of times. Norman cuts a promo.
I thought it was going to be fucking Johnny B. Bad at first. When I heard that fucking music.
He came out to shout too?
It sounds like something he would have came out to.
Oh, he didn't come out to shout though.
It's the same genre.
Bro, let me tell you something. Comparing anything to... Look, I like Johnny B. Bad. I know people are going to say, what the hell's wrong with you? Man, that's an insult to compare anything to Norman with Johnny B. Bad.
Bro, I thought he was black forever.
I think a lot of people did.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, I remember
a lot.
He was like on BT. He got invited onto BET.
Really?
Yeah, I think it was like him and PM News, and neither of them ended up being black.
PM News was a black either?
No.
Fuck.
No, he's a white guy.
What about Junkyard Dog?
Half.
Are you trying to be funny?
Yeah.
Come on, Harper. Hey, Harper, look, there's still people who comment on our YouTube channel when they see a picture of you, they go, I thought he was black. Oh, boy. Anyway, we go to Pat Rose and Norman the Lunatic, and I need to go to some commentary here because I really think JR and Cornette are just like, this is stupid. Cornette especially can't stand Norman. Just listen to this back and forth with these two for the next few seconds.
Take his teeth, add them to his IQ, and then multiply by 3, you still wouldn't get triple digits.
I took him to lunch last week.
How about, what kind of loan did you have to take out?
Cost me $233, excluding tip.
I'm sure you charged it to the company.
No, as a matter of fact, I charged it to your account.
What?
Well, I thought you guys are buddies.
I thought somebody had been in my wallet.
Norman, a lovable guy, the fans, kids especially, they're bringing him teddy bears. He's keeping them all. He took me to his house. I saw his teddy bear collection. He's got hundreds of them. I'm not kidding you.
I believe
He
you.
wanted to play. He wanted me to play with him. I said, nah,
For some unknown reason, I believe every single word you say about Norman. I don't know why.
I don't know. I took it, Harper, is they're just farting around because this is so stupid, but I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I couldn't stand this match because in the beginning, he throws him in a fucking corner and gives him a goddamn hip toss. The fuck?
Oh, yeah, Norman took a hip toss. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. And he gets 2 feet off the fucking ground.
It's just a roll.
Yeah.
Son of a
he gets 2 inches
bitch!
off the fucking ground.
Crockett, you got anything from this nonsense? Norman's going to win.
Yeah. Looked good on that motherfucker, huh?
Look at that awesome drop kick. Look at the drop kick. Watch this drop kick again. Norman drop kicks Pat Rose in the waist. And Pat Rose is like 5'6". I mean, Pat Rose is not a tall dude. I'm saying he's 5'6". He may be 5'8". I don't know. My point is he's not a big man. And he drop kicks him in the waist.
Kick to the dick.
Kick to the dick. Oh, boy. Okay. Crockett, you got any other thoughts, or we'll keep moving?
Ross says that Norman took it to his house. Is he out of the mental ward, or is that the? I thought he's still wearing the scrubs. Does that mean he's got a home?
I wish I had an answer for you.
His mama takes care of him.
His mama takes care of him. That's right. My honest answer is, it's just the shits. I mean, seriously.
Yeah, really, huh?
He Harper, if you just saw the Clash, again, to get it, tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT, he wrestled Kevin Sullivan, and Kevin Sullivan and him fought to a bathroom, a women's bathroom, and Kevin Sullivan fell out of the bathroom at the end, and Norman came out with a toilet seat, and he was declared the winner.
Well, good for him.
Yeah, that's what I said too.
Yeah.
I don't think Kevin Sullivan got to hip toss him.
Yeah, you're right. Keeping the show moving, we keep going. We're going to go to a bunch of commercials and the Wrestle War. We'll also get the Wrestle War wrap again. I didn't really make notes of these commercials because it felt like they were mostly replays. Maybe the big one was new that we saw, but the Starburst one where they're surfing, I feel like we've seen this one a bunch of times. Diet 7-Up. Crockett, you haven't been with us. Any thoughts on these commercials? You haven't been talking about these commercials with us. You got any thoughts?
No, it's. I mean, I just watched this episode with you guys, and I was sick of the commercials by the end of it. I mean, I can understand where you guys are coming from. I mean, it's fun to see some of the failed movies in the commercials, and I saw one commercial, Larry Bird versus Michael Jordan. Like, Larry Bird was still playing in 1990.
It was a Sports Illustrated commercial.
Yeah. I guess he played till 92. I had no idea.
Yep. Yeah, because he was on the original Dream Team, so he was still going. I mean, his back by that point was shot to shit, but
that commercial for fucking Nightbreed. That was a badass movie.
I barely remember that.
Yeah.
Barely remember it. I tell you what, they getting some hellified money from Alka-Seltzer because they run that every week 6 times. I mean, it's overkill. That and what's the other one? Not Tums. There's another one they run. But anyway, yeah, a bunch of replays on the commercials. We keep moving. And Jim Cornette and Jim Ross, they're going to throw to a replay of Sting getting kicked out of the Horseman that we talked about at the beginning of the show. And then the end of the cage match that we've been talking about, too, over the last few weeks. Again, tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT to get access to that in our review of it all. Lots of fun. We did about 2.5 hours of audio on that show. Good stuff there. Harper, Crockett and I really don't have anything to say about it. Did you want to mention anything about Sting getting kicked out the Horseman?
I think about time.
Well, and I have a feeling next week when Doc returns and whatnot, he's going to have a lot to say about, as he calls it, the course correction.
Yeah.
Crockett, we never talked about it. Did you like Sting back in the day? I mean, during this time?
Oh yeah, he's one of the biggies. Yeah, as babyfaces go in the NWA, yeah, he was. I mean, he was my guy, I think.
Wow. Okay. Sting gets a lot of hate on this show from Doc and Harper. I think it's because of the how at the end of his promos when he's I mean, when he's a wolf.
Promo wise, maybe not the best, but yeah, he was an exciting babyface.
Oh, he's cut some doozies, that's for damn sure. Well, anyway, yeah, it's, if we're gonna be honest, I mean, I tell the truth. It's pretty bad sometimes. I mean, if we're telling the truth here. All right. So with that said, we're gonna go to a promo now. This is after they show a replay. We got the Horsemen, we got Arn, Flair, and Ole, and they've got something to say coming off the heels of Sting getting kicked out of the Horsemen and them winning their cage match at the Clash.
What I like, for a change we can be ourselves. For a change we can be the Horsemen once again. Sting, think about it. You think you're dealing with a couple of kids out here? You're talking about the Horsemen, the men that made wrestling. For a long time you've been just too ambitious, climbing that ladder. Came a point there where we almost thought maybe there was a change in you, Sting. When you want to become one of the 4 Horsemen, we said, well, maybe the guy's going to be like us. Maybe he wants to work. Maybe he wants to wrestle like us. But then you made the big mistake. As a Horseman, you are dumb enough to think that we were going to stand by and let you go after this man's title. Take his money? Take his home? What do we look like, Sting? I'm wearing black right now because all of us are going to be in mourning. Before it's done, Sting, we're going to bury you.
Keep in mind, Sting, you're just like the rest of those spoonheads out there that don't know what they want to be when they grow up. Oh, I want to be a horseman. I want to be champion. Well, gentlemen, in this life, there are people that want things and there are people that have things. You didn't want to run with the pack. You didn't want to hang around for the parties. Now the party is going to be in your lap. Tell them, Nate.
You know what the problem is with you, Sting? You think that we're standing here by the grace of God. Well, that's not fact. The fact is we have bled, we have sweat, and we have partied our way across this universe. We own it. We rule it. You don't like it? Do something about it. We're through being anything less than what we are. And that is the very best this sport has to offer. You think I got a big mouth? Shut it. Be in Greensboro. Shut my mouth. You're a punk. And you'll get it. Just like you got it last time. Right, boys? Horseman style. Woo!
You know, why don't you dry it up? You know, you think it's a real funny thing. Sting got betrayed by people he trusted.
I ought to do this with yours instead of mine. Hey, Hey, it's Sting's fault if he trusted somebody he shouldn't have trusted. It's not any of my concern. It shouldn't be Ric Flair's concern. Shouldn't be any of the Horsemen's concern, because the point is they're the preeminent group in professional wrestling, and Sting's out of the picture. They're no fools. You think Flair was going to give up that belt in Greensboro without a fight? He's demoralized Sting. Sting will never gut it up. He'll never get it back.
We'll find out a little bit later in the program, because we have some comments from Sting we'll hear from later, and we'll be back with more World Championship Wrestling right after this.
That outfit Ole's got on screams asshole and dickhead with the suspenders and the black shirt. He's really looking like, as Mike Watson says on the Facebook group, he's got his Do Somebody In outfit on. Harper, what do you think about this?
I love fucking Arn Anderson. He was fucking great.
Spoonhead.
Yeah, what the fuck does that mean? Spoonhead.
What does that
Google
mean?
that.
Google it. Yeah, I'm sure. Look in Urban Dictionary. I bet it's got a real good one there. Jesus. Arn hit me with that, or it got me when he said, in this life, what do you say? In this life, there are people that want things and people that have things. And basically, he's basically saying, we have things. This was good. Crockett, what'd you think?
Yeah, it was solid all around. Ole, I don't know. Yeah, he just looks like an old man to me with the suspenders. But
yeah, he does. He looks like the guy you see going to the fucking your local Ace Hardware to get some fucking nails or something.
He needs a box of wood screws.
Yeah.
I mean, legitimately, the only thing that shirt's missing is it doesn't have a pocket on the chest.
With a pack of Marlboro Reds in them. And a fucking a Marine Corps Zippo in it.
I just want to know, like, when did they decide to? Because like you guys said, or we were talking about on the Patreon show, there was no indication whatsoever that Sting was on the outs with the Horsemen, right? So why did they decide, and when did they decide that they were going to do this turn?
About 2 or 3 weeks ago, Jim Ross on commentary tried to like plant seeds of doubt. Like he was saying, "Hey, I wonder what's going to happen. You know, Flair versus Sting. What's going on here?" And so that happened. But then they came out and cut the promo. The Horsemen did, and Sting was like, "Oh no problem," and Flair was like, "Oh no problem." So like that was the only real tease that they did. What I'm not sure about, what I forget timeline wise, is around this time, Ole becomes the head of the booking committee. And I just don't know if that's how it was decided at that point. If Sting, I thought Ole became head of the booking committee like after the Clash, but I could be wrong timeline wise. Ben Martin, longtime patron, he was telling me, we were talking about this, or he posted it on Facebook too to remind us like what the timeline looked like. But I'm not sure if that's why. But yeah, they never teased it. They never teased it. No one knew. I mean, I guess it's easy for us now to go, well, he didn't fit. I mean, just look at him. But that's hindsight, you know. At the time, when they were baby faces and he was a baby face, I didn't think about it at this time. I was like, oh, well, okay, he's a member of the Horsemen, and the Horsemen are baby faces. But I tell you, I'm not sure when it was decided, but I do know that the Horsemen are heels. I don't, you know. You can't have Ole Anderson as a baby face. Just look at him. I mean, he's got that. He's a curmudgeon in real life, and it comes across on the screen. For what it's worth.
Yeah, it does smell. It does smell like that. There's some sort of changing of the guard. It just feels like something happened behind the scenes for such an about face.
It just sucks, man. Dude, what if Tully would have just been there?
Yeah,
you know,
because Harper gets mad about the Tully thing. Because how did you say it, Harper? How do you get in trouble for a drug test that happened at another job? How do you put it? I always forget.
Like for real, like that's got nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
And the thing is, everybody was fucked up.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Who wasn't, getting in?
Exactly.
Yeah. Man, I don't know, man. Who knows, right?
Yeah.
But it is kind of. I mean, I don't know. It was Jim Hurd who I think made that decision, though. So let's see. I was trying to look at the time. I'm looking up the timeline right now for things. So Flair actually resigned from the booking committee after the Clash, and then heat between Flair and Hurd leads to the booking committee staying intact, with Ole Anderson now being appointed by Hurd as the head. So what I don't know is if Hurd was like, we're going to kick this thing out, I don't know. That's what I don't know. So, Ben, if you know and you're out there, post in the Facebook group about this or tweet it to me on Twitter, and we'll talk about it, and we can retweet it or whatever. But I do know, so according to this timeline that I have, Flair resigns as booker after the Clash that we just reviewed, Crockett. Clash 10, right?
Yep.
And then the heat between Flair and Hurd leads to Ole being the head of the booking committee. Appointed by Hurd. Hurd is the head, but Ole was appointed by Hurd as the head. That's what it is. Ole is appointed by Hurd as the head of the committee. Okay. So anyway, it's not until mid-March, as we're talking about this, that Ole is going to dissolve the booking committee and he becomes the head booker. So we got about another month, and then Ole is completely booking. So anyway, that's that. Keeping it moving, we got a bunch of we see in the big razor commercial again.
Big Meadow.
God, what do you shave with now, Hopper?
I got Dollar Shave Club and be honest, those like shitty big razors.
Jesus.
Yeah.
God, you don't shave your head with that, do you?
No, fuck no. I got Manscaped for that.
What do you shave your ass with?
Your face.
Come on.
That's
grow up. What's wrong with you, man?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it is. You're damn right. Well, we'll keep the show moving. Jim Ross throws to one of the U.S. They've been talking about this U.S. Tag Team title tournament. So Jim Ross throws to one of the U.S. Tag Team title tournament matches, which is in Greenville, South Carolina, at the Memorial Auditorium, which should look familiar to our Smoky Mountain Wrestling listeners and our pod listeners out there, because this is where the first Smoky Mountain Wrestling taping is, if memory serves me correctly. It was a little bit less full than this building at this time. They got a very nice crowd here. The match is going to be the Dynamic Dudes versus the Mod Squad. This actually originally aired on Worldwide Wrestling on February 3rd, 1990. We got Funk and Chris Cruz on commentary. And like I said, there's a big crowd. And for what it's worth, the crowd is really into this thing. I am tired of the Dynamic Dudes. I'm exhausted with them at this point. But anyway, I'll throw it to Crockett. You got anything from this?
I mean, first of all, Shane Douglas basically does Z-Man's finish, which is like the finish they used at the Clash, where he jumps out of the corner, reverse crossbody. Doesn't pin him with it, but and Chris Cruz literally doesn't know the Mod Squad's names. If you notice, he just says Mod Squad for everything. The fat guy goes on the top rope and he says Mod Squad on the top rope. He just literally doesn't know their names.
It's crazy because this is Mac and Jim Jeffers, and then they came back as the Mod Squad. But from the Badlands of New Orleans, what the piss is that? I don't know.
That's right.
I mean, can we get somebody to at least tell them that means nothing to people from New Orleans? Jesus. Harper, you got anything from this?
I think the Mob Squad looked good.
Bruh.
It was a fun little match.
It was good. Like, as far as the crowd was into it, when the heels were getting the heat, they're cheering for the baby faces. I tell you, this might be the only town where, I'm joking when I say this, where Douglas and Johnny Ace actually get cheers as baby faces. It's a little wild, but yeah, but again, this is a typical old Crockett town, so it's kind of natural that they accept the fact that these guys are the faces, even though we're just worn out on Johnny Ace at this point. The finish of this is one of the Mod Squad members misses a big elbow off the top, and Douglas is going to roll up the Mod Squad member. I didn't even write down which one it was, and the dudes are going to win. Wrong team won. Aubrey, any thoughts?
Yeah,
on that?
that sounds about right.
Wrong team won. Crockett, who should have
But
won?
what's crazy is you get the mob squad. There's supposed to be this, like the asshole cops, and then it's the highway patrol next.
State Patrol.
State Patrol, yeah.
Yeah, the state patrol.
Yeah, they got, as I've told you numerous times on this show, if I could do a police officer gimmick right now, I would get some organization thrown off television. Because I would lean into it in the worst way possible. And I say that in a wrestling way of getting heat. But, yeah. The Mod Squad are going to they're gonna lose this thing. Crockett, any other thoughts before I keep going?
No, I do like how Terry Funk plugs an upcoming match later on Worldwide. Ranger Ross and Ranger Norman versus the Skyscrapers.
Oh God!
I don't know
That
if I'm
sounds like a fucking nightmare.
I don't know if I'm happy I missed that or I'm sad.
Hopper, set your VCR for that one, pal.
Nah, bro, I'm cool. God.
The show keeps going. We go to another commercial. Boy, these commercials, man, they will play commercial after commercial after commercial. We get, I think we've seen this before. It is Michael Jordan, Come Fly With Me, Sports Illustrated special where they were given the Come Fly With Me VHS. Anyway, I thought that was kind of cool. And look, there's your old Spank Bank, Hopper, the swimsuit edition.
Those pages would definitely be stuck together.
Wait, you like the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue more or the Sears catalog? What was your go-to?
Oh God, the Sports Illustrated, dude, that was a big magazine, dude.
Oh yeah,
Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue.
That first Tyra Banks one, Jesus.
The Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue was damn. I mean, like, you can't tell kids nowadays it was like porn because they'll never get it because they actually have actual porn at their fingertips. But, we couldn't just Google big titty broads back in the day. I mean, we literally had nothing. So the Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition, I think, to Crockett's question, it was exponentially more valuable than the lingerie Sears catalog because you actually had world-class models in the Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition.
Either that or you find Playboys in the woods.
I remember that, dude. Used to find slaves.
Why was it always a thing? Everybody's found Playboys in the woods.
Why?
Dude, Hopper, I let me tell you a story. I'll never understand this. I don't think I've ever told this on the show before. My grandfather lived way down my grandfather on my dad's side of the family lived way down in South St. Bernard Parish. In do you know yes, do you know where Hopedale is?
Yeah.
He lived down there, him and my grandmother. And so some summers I go down there for a week or so or two and whatnot because I mean they were retired and whatever. And there was like a dump like down there. I remember not a dump, but like it wasn't a real dump, but people would go there and just throw shit, because I mean, there's fucking nothing down there. You're in the middle of nowhere. There's a bayou and water on one side, a 2-lane highway, and then there's camps and houses on the other, and there's only a house every 100 and 200, 300 yards, whatever. So I ain't been down there since like before Katrina, but anyway. So I don't know what it looks like now. I remember going to this dump, and one of my cousins was like, "Man, I'm telling you, they always have Playboys out there." I'm like, "What?" "Yeah, I got Playboys." So, dude, I'm like, what, 7 years old, 8 years old? Sure enough, the first time I ride with my grandfather and my cousin in his old beat up Chevrolet pickup truck, there's a freaking we stumble upon, I think it was 1 or 2 Playboys. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Man, dude, for an 8-year-old, that's some serious material, man.
Harry Bush.
So that's why they call her Blackbeard. Anyway, why were they always in the woods or thrown? Like what?
Like in vacant lots and shit. Fuck, we used to find them.
Like, did people go there to crank off and they threw them away after? I'm confused.
The only thing is, I can think kids must have hit them there.
I guess.
And I guess you just jerk off in the fucking weeds.
That's what I'm saying. I don't understand. I don't know, man.
I remember one time when we were little kids.
Yeah,
they were riding our bikes, being little fucking kids, and the garbage man's driving by, and he's picking up the garbage, and it's these black dudes, right? The fucking garbage men, and they get out, and like, oh yeah, oh yeah. I was like, fuck, what are they excited about, bro? We go look, there was a whole box of fucking nudie mags, and we took a few of them.
Yahtzee.
And they took the others.
Oh man,
that's a good day for a trash man.
Yeah,
he got his comeuppance, and they did too. Oof. Yeah, I somebody out there is listening and going to tell us why the nudie mags were always at a dump or in the woods somewhere. Weirdest thing ever. Let's keep the show moving. We did see a replay of the clash with the Road Warriors versus the Skyscrapers from the clash that we just did. So nothing there. We then go to a match with the Road Warriors versus the State Patrol. If you watch this, the State Patrol do something that no other team usually does when it comes to the Road Warriors. We joke about the Road Warriors hitting the ring and ready to beat ass. Watch these two guys. They're trying to get their gear off so that they can be ready for the beatdown. Like, they're not wasting time. And I thought, well, at least these guys, look at them. You see how they're rushing? They're like, all right, let's get this crap off. Go. They're coming. So, and I don't know. I mean, Sergeant Buddy Lee Parker and whatnot, these guys are, to me, they're good enhancement talents, and they know what they're doing. Now, the Road Warriors, they didn't hit the ring and beat the hell out of them, if you notice. They kind of wait for things to settle down. But it ends up being it actually ends up being a good match to me.
Yeah.
Anyway, what do you have from it, Harper? Anything?
I want that Road Warriors shirt that Paul Elleren's wearing to the ring.
I didn't even notice it. I didn't make a note.
Bro.
Like, well, look at this. I mean, the Road Warriors are being different here with these two.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they didn't just bum rush them and whatnot. It actually, I don't know. One point, like at the beginning, Buddy Lee Parker, he's got a set of nads on him, man. He's standing face to face with Hawk, and I'm like, dude, have you seen what this guy does to people?
Yeah.
You're brave. But then he bumped really good for him. It was a good match. I mean, it wasn't one of those 1 minute squash matches like we've seen or less with the Road Warriors. Crockett, what did you have from it?
Yeah, Cornette put over on commentary too that they're not like blowing through these guys like usual. They're kind of systematically taking them apart as a message to the Skyscrapers. So Cornette using that as a way to put over what happened with the Skyscrapers at the Clash and what's going to happen upcoming at Wrestle War. So it's good.
Yeah, I thought so too. Like I said, the match, it actually has some length to it, which most of their matches just never do. So Warriors are going to win though, and again, wasn't real quick, but they do win. All right, on that note, we're going to go now to the Road Warriors. They're going to cut a promo, and here they are after their match.
Horsemen! That's why when you asked us, Ric Flair, to be your partner, and you, Arn Anderson, we never think we could trust you. That's why we saw what you do with Sting. And Sting, anytime, any place you need your brothers in paint, we'll be there. But first of all, Skyscrapers, we've had it. Saginaw, Michigan, you had a cheap shot at me and jumped me from behind. Then at Marietta TV, you had to run down when we're in the match with the Samoans and jump us from behind. Now we want you. Chicago street fight, our style, the way we like it. Right, Hawk?
What I'd like to know is this. How come it takes 5 of you against the 3 of us? Well, I'll tell you why. You know the reason why. Scared men pull knives. They never use them. You're scared men. And well, you should be, because you have the wrath of the Warriors to face. That's not a pretty thing. Good for us, bad for you.
Pretty intense as usual. Crockett, you got anything from it?
I just like how Animal starts the promo basically saying, we're not dumb fucks like Sting. We wouldn't have worked with the Horsemen ever.
That's classy. Harper, anything from you?
But what do you say? Scared men pull knives?
Never use them.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome.
Yes, sir. Harper, I just looked down at the text message that you sent during that promo. It's the first chance I had to see your headset picture. This has to be posted in the Facebook group so that people can see what you do to headsets, man. I gotta say, I respect you, Booker, man. That's impressive. It's impressive. Okay, keeping it moving. We get more commercials. The Ruse commercial again with Sting. A bunch of other stuff as well.
The
Keep
fucking
going. Go
Luger
ahead,
commercial, those shoes don't look bad.
Yeah, these Ruse aren't the Ruse like
Like the Steiners had on, like what Rick Steiner had.
well, look at Sting's. I mean, they're not.
Yeah,
they
those
actually
don't look
almost-
the fuck. I would have worn those in fucking 1990.
They look like wrestling, almost like wrestling shoes a little. I don't know. Hard to say. Then we get a Sega Genesis does
There you
what
go.
Nintendo don't.
Don't. Sound it out.
Crockett, were you a Genesis or Nintendo guy?
Oh, Nintendo guy all the way.
Yeah. Now, if I was comparing Sega Genesis to the 8-bit Nintendo, I was playing Sega Genesis, but I mean, Super Nintendo was fucking better than Sega Genesis.
Well, yeah, I was thinking the original Nintendo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was original Nintendo over Sega Genesis. But yeah, I know what you're saying, that the Sega Genesis was a step up in terms of graphics.
I tell you what, Chris Zaha in the Facebook group, he cranks off the Sega Genesis.
Who doesn't?
All right, we keep moving. I bet you Lance doesn't. He cranks it to his world class programs. Trust me.
You think he has one of those Von Erich board games?
Yes.
That was always advertised in the magazines.
Yeah.
Yes. That I know for a fact he does. Yes, he does.
I've always wondered
Hopper.
who fucking made that, and where could you buy that in Dallas from like fucking Kmart, or was that just from the magazine?
They never had it in New Orleans. I could tell you that much.
Yeah, but I was thinking maybe in Dallas they may have sold that like at the local Kmart or something.
Well, my mom used to go to Kmart. Remember Zayre's, Hopper?
Bruh, yeah, Zayre's. I remember
They had
Zayre's.
They had Zayre's. They had Zayre's where you're from, Crockett?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah, they had Zayre. Like there was a Zayre's in the Gentilly Woods Mall, Hopper.
Yeah.
Like my mom used to go there because that was like a I don't want to call it the throwaway one, but there was all kind of crap in there. It was never in there. I never saw it on the shelves anywhere.
Yeah, I never saw it fucking anywhere.
Yeah. But yeah, he's got it. I mean, he's got chairs from the Sportatorium. Come on, I mean.
Bro, dude, that's fucking awesome, bro.
Yeah, it is. Now we see a movie, 1 million years BC. I remember
Jesus
that
Christ.
terrible movie on TBS.
Never
Oh,
killed
I'm a
Welch.
Virgio.
Jesus.
I'm a Virgio.
1 million years BC. Look, Harper, 12:25 a.m. Eastern tonight. So
Yeah.
stay
Set
up
the
and watch it
VCR
after
for
the
that
wrestling.
shit. Yeah. Now what's this shit with the because? Oh,
Night
okay,
Tracks.
okay, that was like the MTV deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Night Tracks. That's what was on at like I don't know. I guess 2:00 in the morning. Look, yep, 2:25 a.m. Night Tracks. Anyway, boy, we keep it moving. After that, we do see a promo from the Skyscrapers. I want to play it because Teddy Long just makes me laugh. Just watch
we
Teddy
started
Long.
dancing at the
Oh
end.
dear God! Let's listen to it and then we'll talk about it on the other side.
Tuesday night, right at the Clash, you people had the chance to see exactly what the Skyscrapers, the real deal Dangerous Dan Spivey, Mean Mark Callis did to the Road Runners. That's what I'm going to call them from now on. But all we did is got them primed for the Chicago street fight where you can bring anything and anything goes. Now, Dangerous Dan, you tell them, baby.
Road Warriors, the Skyscrapers are no big yellow bus.
Yeah.
You ain't got to pay nothing to get on. It's going to
Testify.
cost you everything to get off.
You know it, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Dude, okay, just so you know, get used to that dance. He's going to be doing that dance a lot going forward. That's pretty good, Hopper.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on it?
That's fucking awesome. Watch them dance.
Oh God. Crockett, you got any thoughts on that promo and Teddy dancing?
No, Teddy dancing. He does like a nice heel laugh to start the thing, and it's Classic all the way.
Yes, sir. So we keep the show moving. We get the Skyscrapers, Danny Spivey and Mean Mark versus Zan Panzer and Sean Regal. The Skyscrapers are going to win. I really didn't have any notes from it other than watching Teddy prancing as he comes out with his team. Do you have anything from this, Crockett?
Cornette says at one point that Mean Mark is going to be one of the great ones.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how often he said that, but kind of prophetic.
Yeah, he says that like in the beginning. I was like, well, he is right. And he never says that about Danny Spivey.
Oh, he says Danny Spivey looked better than he has.
Yeah.
That's all he said about him.
I feel bad because I don't hate Spivey. It's just I just never.
I don't hate him either. It's you know, I mean, what are you gonna do? And I kept looking for that fucking vein that I saw on Dark Side of the Ring, and apparently he don't have it here.
Dude, he looked like Freddy Krueger.
Bruh, I couldn't believe that was him.
Me either. The only reason I realized it was not just seeing the graphic, but his voice.
Yeah.
And the bug eyes.
Incredible. Yeah, the bug eyes too. This match, I don't know. Crockett, anything else from it?
No, there's nothing to it really.
Yeah. Hey Harper. Hey Harper. You know what the best gimmick was, huh? Fucking Calloway. I can't wait to see him at the Wildcat show July 31st.
He's gonna be there, bro.
Oh,
July
and
31st.
let's just say the BTT contingent that is traveling there, that has confirmed with me that they will be there. Rumor has it they may be in the same section as old D-Man.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of BTT listeners coming to Wildcat July 31st.
That's
so
what
if
I
you
heard,
haven't,
man, because I saw Luke and I was like, bro, are they really coming? He's like, yeah, man, they're gonna be here.
Yep. I mean, hey, look, there's a bunch of them have posted their plane tickets, not plane, their schedule on the Facebook group, like Phil Allen and Armando Martinez and Mike Prue from the JV Goon Squad. Sean Sparks is driving in, Adam Price, Tim Morecci, your friend Tim Morecci you met Tim, that's right, back at WrestleCade a few years ago. Tim's going to be there. I mean, there's going to be, yeah, man, lots of people coming in for the show from out of town. You're
Mike
welcome.
Prue's coming. He's up here.
Yeah, Mike Prue's coming. He contacted me and was asking me about hotels, and then he sent me an email, say, hey, man, I booked the hotel. He's flying in that Friday night and flying out Sunday.
Wow.
Okay. He's flying out Sunday. Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, he's flying. Like, actually, I think most people are flying that are from, more than, say, a, 7-8 hour drive. Like Sparks and Adam, they're in Mississippi, so it's not a long drive for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, most people are flying. Most people are flying in, and makes sense.
I told my girlfriend, I was like, yeah, Mike's going to be here. Well, she's like, is Doc coming? And it's like, no, bro, Doc ain't coming. I said, look, Doc could walk into this house right now. I wouldn't know who the fuck he is.
You wouldn't know until he opens his mouth.
And she's like, really? I was like, I legit have no clue what the fuck he looks like.
Yeah, the only thing Harper does know is his government name.
Yeah.
Which nobody else knows but me. But yeah,
Terry Boleva.
Harper. What'd you say?
Terry Boleva.
I actually asked him, I said, hey man, you want to go? He's like, nah, bruh. You know how I am with these people. It's better I don't meet them.
Like his shit don't stink.
Let me tell y'all something. He gets on this damn show and he talks a lot of smack. And he makes me seem like I'm the bad guy. That fool literally says all the time, so glad I'm not in that Facebook group to deal with these people. Glad it's something you and Harper got to deal with. Because, those people. Ugh. I was like, what do you mean? I mean, they're your people. Most of them are Caucasoids. And he's like, yeah, that's not my people. Okay. Yeah, man. I'm telling you, Doc gets on here and he plays it up for y'all. But trust me, you don't want to be a Docaholic because he's an ass in real life. Yeah, it is. But anyway, yeah, we'll have fun. Is Tiffany going to be? Is she going to be at the show?
Yeah, she's going to be there.
Good. I'll introduce it to Sasha, my wife, Sasha.
Yeah.
Not that one. Not the one Crockett's got on speed dial over there.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. We'll keep moving. Tons of commercials that are replays. I don't have anything from them. Crockett, did you have anything?
No.
Okay.
Same old shit.
Yeah.
Whoa, what the fuck was that?
Well,
was
knew that would
sexual,
get you
huh? Bro,
blood
go back.
boiling.
Watch this.
I'm on
shit.
it.
Watch this. It drips down. Oh my god.
You want to tell the people what you're oh my godding about?
They're pouring the Diet 7-Up out the can, and it freezes as it goes down, and it's one little drop drips down the frozen 7-Up, and it drips right on his broad's tongue, and she just takes it like a champ. Right down,
That's hell. That's a serious marketing for a commercial, man. Let me tell you.
Bro, look
That'll
at that,
make
dude. $1.99 at Burger King. Fuck.
for fries and a Whopper
Mm-hmm.
while supplies last.
Well, 7-Up
figure.
ain't playing games, bro.
Oh man. All right. I've got a timestamp, but I don't have a note for this next segment that I'm about to play. It is. Hold on, it's coming up.
My dad
Brett
used to
Maverick,
love that
the
shit.
lazy. Really?
Yeah.
Let's go to Cornette. He's got some comments before the Midnight Express match coming up. Here it is.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Center Stage and World Championship Wrestling. The Midnight Express will be next. What have you got to say about that?
Well, I'll tell you exactly. Shut up, you morons, for about 2 seconds. Let me say something. You see, for a long time, the longest, most bitter, bloody, brutal feud in the history of professional wrestling was the Rock and Roll Express and the Midnight Express. 5 long years it took us, but finally, we ran the Rock and Roll Express out of the NWA. Now they sit back. For 2 long years, they have thought and thought while they were wallowing in obscurity. How can we get back at the Midnight Express? How can we get back at Jim Cornette? And finally, they think they've come up with a plan. They've returned to the NWA. Well, we have signed to meet the Rock and Roll Express again one more time. It ain't going to take us 5 years this time. It's going to take us 1 match. And in February, the U.S. Tag Team Championship Tournament going strong. We are once again going to wear those titles around our waist because it's been too long since the Midnight Express had belts around their waist so all these genetic defects out here could realize just exactly how talented the Midnight Express, Beautiful Bobby and Sweet Stan really are. That's what I got to say about the Midnight Express, and now we're going to go wrestle just for you.
Fans, let's go up to Rhubarb Jones.
I get the feeling Jim Ross didn't appreciate Cornette spitting all in his face. Any thoughts on that, Crockett?
No, it was your standard Cornette promo. Nothing wrong with it.
He was spitting on him though. That was cool.
And then he realized it, and it just amped it up some more.
Of course. Harper, anything from you?
Well, this is an old feud, man. That fucking never gets old, huh?
Well, in their defense, at least they went away for a little while.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, at least it wasn't going on since, 87. I mean, it's obviously been going on since 86, but at least they kind of went away, and the Midnight's still been here outside of a small time when he went to Continental. But yeah, it is an old feud. That's for damn sure. And they're trying to remake it, trying to get it going again. All right. We get the Midnight Express versus Robbie Idol and Paul Drake. Norman is going to join Jim Ross on commentary because Cornette is out at ringside with his team. I don't know what the piss they were trying to do. I don't have a timestamp, but they're trying to make jokes, and it's just dumb. It's very stupid. I mean, look, he's got the wire over his head because he's dumb. This is just dumb. It's really dumb. Do you have anything for McCrockett?
Well, Norman is worse with a headset than Harper.
Yeah. Fucking. He's so bad at fucking everything.
Oh, he's so bad at everything. I love it. Yeah, it's y'all gotta watch the stuff in Calgary. It's as Maka Singh. I'm not saying he's the greatest of all time or anything, but it's much better than this. This is just stupid, and that's all I got to say before I keep moving. Do you have anything else, Crockett? Is the Midnight Express win?
No, I just noticed that there's like 15 seats right in front of the hard cam that are empty. Like those red seats, like
Oh yeah.
just like can't get some
Completely
seat fillers
empty.
over there.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of empty seats in this taping for whatever reason, and I'm not saying it's always jam packed to capacity, but we've seen some really nice crowds at center stage, so it's really kind of odd that you literally have a bunch of empty seats right there where they should have just filled it in. All right, Harper, you got to see something here. So they showed this during the Clash. Hey, look at him. He's over there just ready, boy.
Hold on. Sip.
You need to go get the lube?
I'm just gonna spit my hand.
Your voice is gonna beat you to it.
He's gonna spit. He just said he's gonna spit in his hand. They played this during the Clash. I'll play it for everyone here, though. JR is gonna throw it to Missy, who's plugging the WCW main event show that she's now co-hosting with Jim Ross. Here it is.
Make a date with me, Missy Hyatt, right here on TBS for the main event wrestling. It'll be the best one yet because I'm Jim Ross's new co-host. Now at 6:05 this Sunday night on TBS, the Superstation. Now don't keep me waiting.
Well, Hopper, thoughts?
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, bruh.
She said don't keep her waiting, too.
I won't keep her waiting. I still wouldn't keep her waiting.
She's something else during this time period, I tell you, man.
I go join a Viet Cong with her.
Okay. Oh boy. Any other? Yes. Any other thoughts on Missy, Hopper?
I mean, dude, she's hot, huh? Fuck.
Missy was something else back then, man.
Yeah, bruh.
All right. We keep going. We go to Doug Furnas versus Galaxian number 1. I think we said it last week, but Furnas is an athlete, and my God, the legs on this dude are impressive. I don't have a lot of notes from it because he's just Doug Furnas is impressive, man. He really is. I don't know, Crockett. You haven't been with us. Any thoughts on Furnas?
No, he looked good. He does like that drop salt, basically, where he does the drop kick and just a full backflip out of it.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, looks awesome. He does a gorilla press, which like everybody in 1990 NWA does. It's like the super kick today. Everyone's doing gorilla press slams. He did one, pretty impressive one. That he did that snap belly to belly suplex off the ropes. Really should have been the finish. It looked friggin' awesome. But he does this like you'll talk about the finish, right, Millie?
His fucking legs look like they're drawn.
Yes. He's got tree trunks, Hopper.
Bruh.
I mean, you just gotta put your eyes on the dude's legs. And I mean, it's unreal. I don't know how much he squatted or leg pressed, but it was a couple of Volvos that he was pressing.
Well, look at that, bro.
That drop kick, the drop kick that he does, where it's like it ends up being a drop salt. Like he drop kicks him and then he backflips out of it. It's he's just an athlete. He's a pure athlete, and like we
that. The fucking Starman from the fucking Nintendo wrestling game.
It's true.
So did they have Furnas do it on a green screen so that he could do it? It's just he's so impressive. He does like his leapfrogs. They look effortless. I mean, he gets up so high. Yeah, he's just a hell of an athlete. And unfortunately, we talked about it on this last show, I believe. His brother, who was a great athlete at Tennessee as a lineman, got none of his wrestling ability. Crockett, you should have seen his stuff in Smoky Mountain Wrestling, his brother. Oh.
Mike, right?
Oh my, yes. Bad isn't a way to put it. He just sucked.
He must have
In
skipped leg
fairness,
day.
he didn't skip leg day. He just,
He
I don't
skipped
know,
every
man.
day.
It kind of wasn't fair to him. Like he didn't it wasn't a lot. He didn't have a lot of training, and he was real young in wrestling. It's kind of being mean to him, to be honest with you. But I mean, because he might have been one of those guys that got better over time, but we just never got to see it. He had that very, very short run there, and in and out and done. And God bless Cornette he gave that dude a run with the TV title. That's all I got from it. Any other thoughts, Crockett?
No. Like you said, excellent agility from this guy. How far in was he? Like into his career? Looks young.
How long had he had at this point? He's seasoned by this point. I don't remember exactly when he started, but yeah, he's seasoned by now.
Fuck, you gotta put him in a Horseman.
I don't know, man. He wasn't the best promo. He wasn't the best promo though. That's the only thing.
No, as we'll see.
Yeah, I actually don't even want to play it.
Okay.
He cuts a promo. Go ahead, Hopper.
That fucking promo when fucking Jim Ross is like, I know you were a great high school athlete. I was like, didn't he play college football? Why don't you bring that shit up? I played fucking high school football. Who gives a fuck?
I'll play a little bit of the promo. He's got a little Tim Horner thing going here. He's worn out and blown up, man. Listen to him.
A native Oklahoman to the broadcast, Doug. Welcome to World Championship Wrestling. We didn't get a chance to talk to you last week. The world's strongest man. I know you've been a competitor all your life. Fans, the first time I saw this guy, he was a high school senior, Commerce High School, and I was officiating a state playoff game. You've come a long way, youngster.
Well, thank you very much. I had a lot of help. You know, it's always good to see somebody from back home.
Certainly, yes. I'll tell you something. You've always been a competitor. I saw that when you were in high school. You've always hunted with the big dogs, and this is where they are.
Well, that's right. You know, we were taught coming from a small town that just because that's where you came from doesn't mean, you know, you can't reach higher goals. So, you know, in the past, we've always competed with the best, competed against the Russians in lifting, Alabama in football, and so now we're here with the best in the NWA, and we're going to compete with them.
I want to wish you the very best of luck. We look forward to seeing much more of you, my friend.
Thank you very much.
All right, pal. Doug Furness, the world's strongest man, and fans, Flying Brian asked for some time today. I think you're going to find his comments most interesting. Let's listen to them now.
All right, we'll go to that in a second. You see what I mean, Hopper? He had like a Tim Horner thing going where Horner used to cut those promos and he was all blown up.
I think he's just blown up and he wanted just to get through it, just to get done with it.
Yeah, I thought so too. Crockett, you got anything from it?
Well, I'm just seeing here that he debuted in '86, so he's 4 years in at this point, and he's 30 when this is happening. So he's got a couple years under his belt.
Yeah, and I mean, like 4 years back then, if you're working every single night, that's a lot of matches. So
yeah,
it's not like 4 years in 2021, even before the pandemic.
We work once a fucking month.
Yeah, or a few times a month at most, you know. So.
Yeah.
Let's go to Pillman now. He's got something he wants to say.
I know Ric Flair's not here today, but Rick, I hope you hear what I have to say. I've experienced a lot of highs and a lot of lows competing in professional sports. But I want to tell you, the biggest thrill of my life was when I came here to the NWA and got to rub elbows with the athlete I respect and admire more than anybody else in the world. And I've been around the best athletes, the Lawrence Taylors, the Boomer Esiasons, the Joe Montanas. And that was you, Ric Flair, the world champion, the nature boy, the man that represents class, the man that stands second to none. And when you took me under your wing and you brought me along and you gave me encouragement and the inspiration I needed, boy, I was in seventh heaven. But now I guess, you know, sometimes in life some crazy things happen. I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm a little mixed up right now. And I know there's a lot of other kids out there like myself that really look up to you, Ric Flair. And I know they're wondering what happened. What went down there with Sting, and I guess we just want an explanation. And I hope sometime the next week you can stand to me face to face and look me in the eye, and hopefully we can work this out and come up with a solution. Because there's a lot of people out there that care.
That was odd. That was my note.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like the way Pillman's got a plea to Flair to face him face to face, but I don't know. Harper, what'd you think?
Yeah, it's like he's pleading to him to go to rehab or something, or to turn himself into the fucking police like he's on a run.
Yeah, I kind of had the same thought. Not the same way, but yeah, I agree with you. What'd you think, Crockett?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little odd premise for a promo, and just amazing how far he came. A few years later with just Pillman, just loose cannon whole thing. This is different.
And to be fair, he's had some really good babyface promos over the last few months. The one thing that did cool him down was the whole Z-Man partnership and tagging them together. But he's had some good promos. This one was just like a one-off that was extremely, extremely odd, and I just truly did not get it. It didn't make much sense to me. But hey, it happens. We keep moving. I'm going to skip through the commercials because they were definitely all replays. And then JR is going to throw us back to Greenville Memorial Auditorium. Throws it to the U.S. Tag Title Tournament for Worldwide Wrestling. The match is Brian Pillman and Z-Man, because they are a tag team, versus the Royal Family, which remember is Jacko Victory and Rip Morgan and the little fella, Lord Littlebrook, who's running around the ring away from Pillman. This, again, is from Greenville, South Carolina at the Memorial Auditorium. I think this also did air on the February 3rd episode of Worldwide. It aired, and now they're airing it here. I'm fine with that because they're kind of trying to finally get these belts on somebody who we haven't seen, I think, since like April of last year when it was Rick Steiner and Eddie Gilbert that were champions. Once again, at this building, the crowd, to me, they love this match. They're really loud. They're cheering the faces, booing the heels. These old Crockett towns, it's where the magic is. I bet it's still like that there today. Crockett, what did you think about the match and everything?
I don't know who let a fire under Jacko Victory's ass, but this guy was bouncing all around ringside like a pinball. Like he went over the turnbuckle at one point to the floor. Another point, like he gets hit off the apron and flies into the barricade at ringside. I don't know what was going on, but this guy was like bumping all over the place.
He just flew on the video that we're watching. That I know yours is frozen, but he just did. There was a spot where he flew to the floor from the ring apron, and I mean, he flies. Like he does not. It's not a light bump. That's a hell of a bump that he takes into the crowd, into the barricade. The barricade hits the fans. So yeah, he was working here. What else you got, Crockett, if anything?
I don't know what it was. I always thought Rip Morgan had something like a good look, good size. I was wondering why he never went further, like to the WWF or anything like that. I ended up looking it up. He did have a dark match with Jacko Victory as a tag in '92 with the WWF, but nothing came of it. And I guess he retired. He went to Smoky Mountain that you guys have talked about in '92, and then he did Germany in '93, and that was it. And then I was looking up his career. '93, he was done, and then in 2001, Rip came back and had a match in England with PN News.
Oh boy.
Jesus.
Yo baby, yo.
Oh wow. The fake PN News account out there, he's gonna love all the PN News discussion. He can't wait for us to get the PN News in WCW.
Second mention tonight.
Yeah, second mention tonight. You're not kidding. Boy, oh boy. You're right. Victory was working his ass off here, and that was a nice backdrop that Pillman just took. Harper, did you have anything from this?
I think it is. I was like, damn, another tag match?
Well, because it's the U.S. Tag Title Tournament, and they're trying to air what's going on so that we know what the hell's happening in this tournament. Because here's a spoiler, we're going to see, I think, almost all of the results from this tournament.
Damn,
they're going to show all these. Yeah, I almost certain they show every single match from this tournament.
Like in its entirety? Like not just recaps?
I think so. Like they're going to show them. And the best part, honestly, the best part about what they show is almost all of these, I think they happen not at center stage, and we get to actually see them in the buildings and the crowd react to them. So the actual baby faces to win this match, they pulled a little switcheroo, and not, switcheroo, but they kind of cheated to win, which was fine with me. But Z-Man and Pillman win, and we'll see how far they go in this tournament. We keep moving in more commercials because we got to pay the talent some kind of way. And I've got nothing from the commercials because I felt like it definitely was a bunch of replays. We do go to a Louisville Slugger segment with Jim Cornette and Dr. Death. Let me go to that now. Here it is.
Championship Wrestling on the Superstation TBS for the fastest mouth in the South. Here is the Louisville Slugger, Jim Cornette.
Just the South? What about the Northeast and the West and the rest of the country? Well, it doesn't make any difference because I have today as my special guest, my good buddy, my close pal, my lifelong friend, Dr. Death, Steve Williams. Come on out here, Doc. My guest today on the Louisville Slugger. I love this guy. He's the baddest man in the world, brother, and he is my guest today on the Louisville Slugger. Doc, welcome to the program. Doc.
Whoa, Jimmy. No buddy this, buddy that. You did me a favor, and I did you a favor, and that's as far as it's going.
Well, now, wait a minute, Doc. I know we helped you and you helped us. We're even now, sure, but I want to help you because, after all, you can trust me.
Well, you know something, Jimmy? All these people out here in the world trusted you, and you turned your back. What's that say for me? What's that going to happen? What's going to happen?
Oh, Doc, I would never turn my back on you because I had you out here. I want to talk about one of the biggest matches you've ever had in your career coming up. United States Heavyweight Championship, February 25th at Wrestle War against Lex Luger. You're the baddest man in the world, and I know that you should wear that U.S. title. Maybe I could help you scout Luger just a little bit.
First of all, Jimmy, February 26th, you got a man out here called the strongest man in the business. I'm the baddest, the strongest. Lex Luger, you've got the U.S. title. Now there's a man who's going to be in the ring that you're going to have to look right down his eyes and find out what kind of man I really am. Well, brother, you're going to find out February 26th. And Jimmy, and as the people around the world will find out, I will be the U.S. title champion.
Well, now, Doc, I know that you say maybe I don't need to help you scout Luger, but let me ask you a question. When you were a four-time All-American at Oklahoma, who was your coach?
Barry Switzer, of course.
So you had a coach when you had all those great successes, set all those records, won all those honors.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Well, everybody needs a little help now and then, you know.
The only person who's going to need help is Lex Luger on February 25th, and it's going to happen right in the squared circle.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The Louisville Slugger with Dr. Death, Steve Williams, my close personal friend.
Well, they're doing that to build up the pay-per-view that's coming up. Crockett, what are your thoughts on it?
I like goes Steve Williams. He says the 26th the first time and then the 25th the second time. Which is it?
Everything was airtight, brother.
No, but it was, he amped up the intensity a little bit. I mean, for Steve Williams promo, not bad.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good for a Dr. Death promo because, I mean, we've talked about his promos in the past. They're not always the greatest. Any thoughts from you, Hopper?
It was all right.
Yep, I thought. I mean, we've seen some bad ones from him, so that's why I say that. Bunch of replays on the commercials. Then we get a replay from the Clash of the Champions with the Steiners unmasking Doom and the crowd going nuts. We talk a whole lot about it. You just got to go to tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT and join our Patreon and get access to that Patreon special. We keep the show moving. We then go to a match with Rick Steiner and Scott Steiner versus the Italian Stallion and Bob Cook. The Steiners, they are the NWA champions, and there's another way to say it. I don't even have notes from the match. That's all I got is Steiners remain NWA World Tag Team Champions. Crockett, you got anything from the match with the Steiners and Italian Stallion and Bob Cook?
No, just the fact that, the Frankenstein, I already talked about it on the Clash show on Patreon, but one of those moves that just blew my mind as a kid. Frankenstein
it did, huh?
Absolutely phenomenal.
It was a hell of a move. I mean, I've said it since day one. The first time you saw it, you're like, wait, what the hell did I just see?
Yeah.
Just tremendous stuff. And it's
Especially
just for Scott.
For someone as big as he is.
Yeah, I mean, for a guy like Scott to do that move is impressive. And to be honest, Bob Cook, if you watch it here on the video version, he takes it really well. I mean, he gets over and doesn't spike himself on his head like we've seen some guys do. Good stuff, though. Good stuff. We keep the show moving, and then we're going to go now to a promo. Let me get it queued up. We got Arn and Ole Anderson. They're going to cut a promo. They've got something to say. I know we've heard from them once already this week. We're going to hear from them again right here. Here it is now.
Steiners, you're the champions. Up to now, you've had it pretty easy. Now take a look at what you've got next. The Wrecking Crew, right, Arn?
We told you. We weren't wearing no white hats. We got some applause because the bottom line is everybody out there knows and respects the fact that when the Andersons get in the ring, somebody's going to get hurt. Amateur background's fine, but a Granby roll don't hurt to help you when I'm kicking your ribs in or the rock's breaking that arm. Remember that, Steiners.
Real quick one. Meat and potatoes. Arn's on it, though. Yeah. Crockett, anything from it?
No, yeah, it was just standard, short, got the job done.
Yep. Literally a 30-second promo.
Fucking only looks like he just hates black people, huh? I mean, look at that.
Well, he doesn't have a white. He doesn't have a white hood on.
You just
but
know the N-word, which is part of his daily vocabulary.
I mean, with those suspenders and shirt, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, just wait for a few months. I forget when it happens exactly, but it's him and Flair and Arn, and I won't say who returns or comes back, but Rocky King is involved and another African-American star, and they're throwing around the word boy at these guys, and it's the most degrading use of the word boy you'll ever hear without somebody saying the N-word. I mean, it really makes you watch it as an older person and go, God, they really laid it on thick back then.
Oh yeah, I was showing my girlfriend the old Ted DiBiase promo with the little black kid dribbling the basketball.
Oh jeez.
And he's like, "Here's $500. I bet your family could probably use this." Ha 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 ha. And she's like, "What the fuck is this?"
We say it all the time on this show. You cannot apply 2021 modern day standards when you rewatch old wrestling, because even in the cartoonish WWF, you're going to find things that you're like, what the hell? And we saw it. I mean, we talk about it all the time. The Junkyard Dog and Michael Hayes promo. Junkyard Dog. Now you see how it feel when somebody try to buy you. Oh no, we don't want no Toyota. I mean, come on. So
I ordered one of those fucking Ted DiBiase basketballs over a week ago. I need to fucking email him.
You ordered one?
What?
Yeah.
What are you fucking talking about?
On his website, he has a basketball that's fucking autographed by him.
They get the little black kid too?
Yeah.
His autograph's on there?
No.
Oh.
Come on, Harper.
And it's been over a fucking week. I haven't gotten it.
Hey, he worked you. This is the Gladiator. We saw him wrestle last week or week before last. It's quick, and he's talking about Sting. He's gonna break his arm and leg and rub the makeup off his face. It's okay. It's nothing. It's.
Who was he?
We talked about.
I don't remember.
Harper. Now I'm forgetting his name because you put me on the spot. Crockett will look it up for me on the commercial.
Oh, it says Russell Crowe.
No. We'll keep moving. DM Harper. I'm not going to repeat what I said last week. It just hit me. DM Harper. Tell him who this is. Don't DM Lance. Don't DM Crockett. DM Harper. Definitely don't DM me. We'll keep moving. The Gladiator versus Keith Hart. Gladiator wins. Crockett, anything?
No. Is it Gary Royal? That's a name I saw, but
no. You're thinking of the Gladiators. This is not him. I'm really drawing a blank with his name. This guy had a very long career, though. I think he's like 48 years old here.
Yeah, he's got like gray eyebrow hair.
Yeah, he's Now see, I cannot think of this dude's name for nothing, and it's bothering me.
Fuck.
Where's Lance when you need him? Lance would be able to tell me. Lance would be like, "Oh yeah, that's such yeah, that's tell you about the program I got with him on it too."
Back in Dallas.
That's fucked up, Harper. Why are you doing? Come on, man, grow up. What's wrong with you? Michael Hayes, he farted on my program at one time, and he signed it, and the air from the fart kind of it was a little wet, so it kind of smeared the ink when he signed it. But yeah,
That's nice.
I know. What can you do? I got nothing else from this match. Did you have anything from it, Crockett?
No. It's he did a rude awakening for the finish, which is not bad.
We then go to a Sting promo, and Sting says he wasn't gullible. He said he shook the man's hand, and he basically trusted them, and now he promises he is going to win the world title. Now, you'd have to be under a rock if you don't know by now. Sting got hurt at the Clash, jumping down from the cage. His knee buckled.
Was it? Yeah. It was the first, because I was watching it, it was when they pulled him down, right?
It was the second time they pulled him down. Now, for anybody out there,
because I watched him go to the back, I was like, I don't think he looks fucked up.
it was the second time they pulled him down, and Crockett and I were talking about it. I've heard people say it was when Flair got out of the cage and jumped on him that the knee buckled. But you can clearly see, and Crockett backed me up on this, when he comes off the cage the second time and he gets knocked down and they're pulling him down off the cage, his knee is giving him trouble, right, Crockett?
Yeah, he's looking down and holding in. You see him like talking to people about it.
Yeah. He's limping. You can see something is wrong. Now, what's funny about this is Sting is saying right here, I'm still going to win the world title. Like, this interview that you're watching on the video version was shot prior to the knee injury, and they kept it in this week's show on February 10th. We're going to hear more later in a second about when they finally do figure out what's going on with Sting's knee. But as of this moment in the show, an hour and 43 minutes in, we're still building up like Sting's going to go for the world title at Wrestle War 90 in a few weeks. So just pointing that out in case anybody's wondering why he's saying he's still going to win the world title. But it does that. Crockett, do you have any other thoughts on this
No, but it's really weird the way we'll talk about it when we get to the end of the show, but really weird how they did this. And one thing from the promo, though, I don't know why you didn't play it for one. It seems like a Sting bias to me, but he doesn't even address the fact that the Gladiator said he's going to tear him apart in the last promo. He just talking about he's looking past the Gladiator to Ric Flair. I don't like it.
Lots of holes in it. Yeah, he doesn't even address. It's like the Gladiator promo never happened, which is why I didn't play it.
And apparently it's supposed to be Gladiator versus Sting next week. I'm sure. I mean, these tapings, I'm sure, were all done before the Clash, right?
Yeah, you can tell that those promos were cut before the Clash just by the way they're saying what they're saying. I mean, Sting's hurt at this point. We just don't realize it. Okay, we see some commercials, and then we go to a Kevin Sullivan promo that I do have to play. Kevin Sullivan has a T-shirt on that says "Raw Dog."
Raw dog. He's gonna raw dog it.
I'm gonna hit play on that right now.
Thanks for staying with us, ladies and gentlemen, on World Championship Wrestling. Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer and Tommy Wildfire Rich coming up in just a moment. Here with Kevin Sullivan, the Boston Battlers. Ask for some time.
I certainly have. You know, Mr. Ross, strange things are starting to happen, aren't they? It's like an ill wind has blown back in the NWA. Friends have turned against friends. I hear Dr. Death now trying to reach out and snatch something from Lex Luger. I see all shapes and forms coming. And I see madness. I see madness, and I see a box of madness ready to be opened. Jim Ross, there is madness in the whole universe. All that has to be done is sometimes hinged and sent to the right direction. You know, I've been looking around, and I have seen a man who can be controlled, a man that can be brought to destiny, and I know one thing. Dogs do fly.
He's sick. He's sick. Fans, let's go up to Rhubarb.
I kept waiting for him to say, "What do you think they do to monkeys in Malaysia?" I don't know what the hell was up with that, but the Raw Dog T-shirt is why I had to play it so we could see the visual of that. Harper, any thoughts on our friend Kevin Sullivan here?
Not really.
Yeah, me too. I felt the same way. I was like, what the hell? Crockett, anything from you?
No, I mean, just teasing what's going to happen down the line, apparently.
Well, we keep moving, and we go to the main event on this week's episode. We got Tommy Wildfire Rich versus Buzz Sawyer. As Harper so eloquently says all the time, set your VCR for this. Wildfire started with an arm drag and laying on the canvas.
It worked the body part.
And I'm not going to say anything else. Harper, what do you have from this 5-star Matt Classic?
I guess it's just how he's trained. I mean, that's how they used to do it back in the day. You got to wear the guy down.
Grab a hold, brother.
Yeah, it's like body shots in fucking boxing.
Crockett, you got anything from this 5-star Matt Classic?
Yeah, it was armbar bonanza, basically. At one point, Tommy Rich hits him with the forearm off the top, right to the top of Buzz's head. Buzz hits the mat, goes back to the armbar. I don't know.
I'm not going to say anything bad. It's
Bars are dead live, Lakefront Arena.
I'm not going to say anything bad.
Hey,
it was what it was.
That picture of Tommy Rich on the Facebook group, those two pictures of Tommy Rich, he looks very good there. Much better than you ever did.
I have no clue what you're talking about right now.
What, there's those pictures of Tommy Rich that were on the Facebook group recently? Dude, he's holding the two belts.
Stephen Crankmaster Jerkoff, that buffoon is constantly posting pictures of his idol. So you're going to have to clarify which ones you're talking about. We're talking recently within the last, he posts he's on there posting all the time about his idol. Look, Jaworski probably got his tonsils bruised by this guy. I don't know. If that's your thing.
That's real nice.
If that's your thing, it's funny how people say this guy lives rent-free in my head, but they're the ones that keep bringing it up. I got to review. He's on my television right now. I got to review his matches. So it is what it is, but this is grab a hold, brother. 5-star Matt Classic. I wonder what Dave Meltzer gave this when he reviewed it on the whatever his newsletter is. Crockett, honestly, I have no clue what pictures you're talking about.
Well, I'm sure you just ignore all these Tommy Rich things now. Just like
that's right.
Harper does the Golden Girls memes. Just ignore it, right?
Yeah, I just hit like and move on.
And he makes that face that I posted a few weeks ago. I posted the face that he makes when he's seen something a million times and he hits like and he rolls his eyes at the same time. Oh my God. Okay, so Sawyer is going to miss a big splash at the end of it, but he's going to recover and he hits Rich with a power slam and Sawyer is going to win this match. It's crazy, man. These guys had the last battle of Atlanta, right? All those years before.
Bro, watch go back, Mike.
What? Right here?
When he goes to tries to pin him. Look, bro, his hand is right on his fucking. Watch Buzz's fucking hand. It's right on his fucking. He's like grabbing his ass.
That happens.
Yeah.
That happens. That happens at wrestling, Harper.
Shut up.
Come on.
Not with you.
We're secure in our manhood. It doesn't matter. I don't know. Maybe it matters to you.
Love is love.
Well, I've seen you wrestle Buku Dao on Wildcat, and
that's right.
I've seen you two grab a hold of each other in certain places and didn't seem to complain too much about it. Whatever floats your boat. Look, that's your thing, right?
Yeah, well, there's nothing wrong with that.
A mouth is a mouth, bro.
That's right.
Grow up. What the hell's wrong with you people on this show? Okay. Yeah, Buzz Sawyer's going to win, and I got nothing else from it. Crockett, any other thoughts before we go to the closing promo? I don't even call it promo. Closing update before we get out of here this week.
You talked about how Buzz recovers. He recovered in like 2.5 seconds. He misses the top splash off the top rope. He gets whipped, reverses, power slam, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, everything was airtight. Everything was airtight back then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. You got to be fair when you do these old school shows. You got to be honest. I mean, anybody who, if there's one thing I'll say about modern wrestling, a lot of it is dumb. I mean, Crockett doesn't even watch any of it anymore. I mean, any of it. He refuses to. Like, he does not watch 1 second of modern wrestling. I'm not that bad. Doc's not that bad. Harper doesn't watch 1 second of modern wrestling unless it's Wildcat, which he's on. And the thing is, at the end of the day, it's like you see things and you go, oh, this is dumb. And then what I don't like is old school folks who act like everything was perfect in the old days, when at the end of when in truth, in reality, you see all kind of stuff that you're like, God, he didn't even sell that. Like Crockett just said, Buzz misses the splash. How quickly does Buzz get up after he sells it?
Yeah, like seconds.
And then he's hitting a power slam after missing the splash. So again, we talk about old school wrestling like it's perfect, but I think it's really not. There's a lot of shit you can poke holes in if you really want to. On that note, old JR has got an update at the end of this week's show that he's got to mention related to Sting. Here it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jim Ross, I hate to interrupt this broadcast of World Championship Wrestling. Please accept my apology, ladies and gentlemen. But as many of you know, hours ago, it was reported that the Horsemen attacked Sting in an unrelated wrestling incident. And we have understood now at this point, I've been up virtually all night. We were with you on the Power Hour of the report. I understand that Sting's knee has been severely damaged. I have put a call in to his doctor, the noted orthopedic surgeon, Dr. Jim Andrews, formerly of Columbus, Georgia, now living in Birmingham. It looks as if the injury was much more serious than was originally thought by the bystanders and from our first report that we received. But to repeat this information, Sting has been attacked by the Horsemen. His knee has been severely damaged, and I hope to have, by the next time I talk with you, which will be this Sunday night on the NWA main event here on TBS, I hope to have an injury report with a lot more specific information. I have a call into his doctor, as I said, but apparently the Horsemen were not satisfied as to what they did to Sting this past Tuesday night, the Clash of Champions. Ric Flair led the attack. Sting is down, and Sting is in the hospital as we speak. We've been asked not to divulge where he is, but I will have another report this Sunday night on the main event.
I thought it was interesting, Crockett, how JR reports it. He reports it as if it happened after the Clash and not when it actually happened, like they got him another time. Did you find it interesting too?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out the timeline he's following here. First of all, he apologizes for interrupting the show he's already hosting. He's like in front of a green screen, making it look like he's still at the Clash, but they're talking about it like it happened after the Clash. And he said something about the Power Hour, which is Saturday morning. And I need like Doc Brown to figure out what the hell's going on with the timeline here.
I think so. To answer what I think happened, I think the episode of Saturday Night was taped prior to the Clash. The promos were all taped prior to the Clash. So all that was done prior to the Clash. They had it all packaged and ready to go. And then they realized, oh shit, Sting got hurt. So now they had to then take JR, put him in front of a green screen, put him, that is a crowd, assuming the background is the crowd from the Clash. I'm assuming that's what that is. I mean, it could, I have no clue. I'm not well versed enough in the building that they were.
House.
Yeah, it was, and it was packed at the Clash. I mean, it wasn't sold out. They said it was sold out, but they had a good crowd there. And I think, they put him in front of a green screen and just ran a video of the crowd at the Clash and had JR give an update. But I just thought it was interesting how they sold it as it didn't happen at the Clash. They attacked them after at some point.
I understood that just because, because they had taped. Apparently, they tape a Sting match for next week. They probably won't end up showing. But like, why couldn't they put Jim Ross in front of the WCW the Saturday night set and say, "Oh, we just heard that Ric Flair attacked him backstage tonight," instead of having this weird thing where they're talking about it happened days ago, but then we just saw Sting in a promo, 15 minutes ago. It just really didn't make sense the way they kind of put this together.
They probably could have done it like at center stage. The problem was if they were doing it not on a day during a TV tape, and it's just going to be real quiet in there, and then you'd have been able to tell, wait, there's no noise in the background. What the hell's going on? Like, that would have came across weird too, because they did. I've seen them do that in the studio at Techwood Drive as well, like where they're acting like an episode is happening. They're showing matches, but every time they go to a promo, there's no crowd. Like, you can't hear anybody talking, and you can you get that vibe. It's like, oh, they're recording this at a different time, different date. So I see what you're saying, but I don't know. I guess they thought this was the best way to do it, related to what happened to Sting.
Well, it wasn't.
All right. So, and that's actually how they go off air. They completely go off air at that point. They take us out of the show there, and that's how they close things. So we shut down the show at this point. We got to hand out the Rolex, give out the rating, all that good stuff. Before we do so, I want to ask you to kindly consider becoming a patron again at tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. There are over 300 Patreon exclusive episodes available for you, including the Clash that we just did, all of the WCW pay-per-views, the World Class shows, ECW shows, all of the pre-shows. We've done numerous Dark Side of the Ring reviews and A&E biographies in the last few months as well. Tons of stuff is available up only on Patreon at tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. So consider becoming a Patreon member. It would be greatly appreciated. And again, if you're not using it, please consider using our Amazon Associates link. It's tinyurl.com/BTT Amazon. Great way to support the show without spending anything extra. The show gets support in return when you use that link. Again, it's tinyurl.com/BTT Amazon. I will go first and give out my rating. Nothing spectacular here, but I thought it was okay. I'll give it a B+. I actually did like the tag matches from South Carolina and the crowd being into it. I thought that was kind of cool. There was some stuff here with the Norman thing that just was dumb. I'll give it a B+. Crockett, what you gonna give it?
Yeah, in that range, like a B. I think I gave the Clash a B too, but yeah, it was like, standard stuff. Nothing really jumped off the page, but nothing really just besides Norman on commentary and everything Norman. I mean, it wasn't a terrible show. B.
Harper, what you giving it?
I'll give it a B.
Right,
it wasn't that bad. I mean, it could have been worse. Fuck it.
I think Harper just went into Deep State Harper again.
He just dropped 3 octaves.
Yeah. Harper, say
what?
Say something like the next Wildcat show is July 31st.
The next Wildcat show is July 31st.
Oh yeah. He just became the Ukrainian whistleblower again.
Oh, no.
How the hell does that happen? I
don't know.
Crockett, you got to help me you're the sound guy. You know how this stuff works. Do you have any clue how Skype just out of the blue just makes somebody on the show sound like they're in the deep state?
Wait, he's not doing that on purpose?
No. This
sounds like literally.
No, I'll send you the YouTube clip when this happened before, when he turned into the Ukrainian whistleblower, and we were like, "What the hell just happened?" And it was him. We don't know. It's something in Skype, and I've Googled it and I can't find it. I don't know how it happened. No. We did literally a whole show like that with him.
No, I heard that, and it sounded different than this sounds to me. Maybe it's just because I'm here live now that it sounds different to me, but. Yeah, he literally just sounds like he woke up from a nap and he's just like a little slower on the draw.
Doc said he sounded like the dude from Old School. Oh, what movie was that? You're funny, man.
Yeah, that was Old School when he shot him in the dart with the fucking tranquilizer. When he shot him in the ass with the tranquilizer dart or some shit. He Chavo, we're in the spirit world.
I don't know how this happens. It is awesome. Harper, if you are doing something, I really need to know how you're doing that. Don't lie to me, because this is great. When he laughs, it's worse. Oh my God, the Ukrainian whistleblower Harper is back. All right.
Well, he does have half a headset hanging off his head. Maybe that has something to do with it.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
No, but the last time that happened, he had a full headset.
But it was the same one, right?
Yeah, it's the same brand.
You're funny, man. I'm the whistleblower. Dude, like, this is what it sounds like. Like, these were some sound clips from when he last sounded like it.
Thoughts and prayers, dog. Fucking loser. What the fuck? That's fucked up.
All right, well, I do need to mention one thing. We're going to give out the Rolexes now. Before we do it, I want to remind you, if you'd like a video shout-out, life advice, relationship advice from Hardbody Harper, unfortunately, the whistleblower voice is not available on those shout-outs because we have no clue how it happens. You got to email Harper to chrisharper16wildcat@gmail.com and then PayPal him $20 to cc30388cc@yahoo.com, and he'll hook you up with your own video shout out, not just for you. Let's say you want him to cut a promo on somebody, because he's done some great one where he's cut promos on friends of the show, where I know Chris Browning had a friend who was a Falcons fan and a Georgia Bulldog fan, and Jesus Christ, Harper was eating a bowl of cereal just degrading this poor sap, and I thought it was wonderful. So if you've got somebody you want to cut a promo on, Harper can do that for you as well. Again, life advice, relationship advice, shout out of any sort, chrisharper16wildcat@gmail.com, and PayPal him $20 to cc30388cc@yahoo.com. All right, we'll give out the Rolex now. I went first on the rating. Crockett, you give out the Rolex first.
Well, seeing as I'm sitting in for Doc tonight, I have to go with Ric Flair and the Horseman, right?
You know, he'd probably be proud that you did that, so that makes sense. I think I'm going to go with Arn for that first promo when he was spitting some gold. Harper, who are you giving yours to?
I want with Arn Anderson with that first promo. That's
Harper,
nice.
You can hear yourself again. I think it's got something to do with that headset, because that's the same headset that you stuck up your girl's bleep.
That's nice.
That's what it is. I think that's what it is, man.
Oh no.
Some sort of mucus got stuck up in there.
It's got some bacteria on the microphone. Oh my God, Deep State Harper, this is great. Well, Crockett, I want to give you some time to plug some things before we get out of here.
Oh, all right. I have a YouTube channel that I've uploaded a lot of stuff. I've talked about this. We talked about it on the Patreon show, but my favorite show that we ever did of the Wrestling Podcast About Nothing is the show with the Uncivil War, North versus South, you in a debate for Southern Wrestling against Brian Malonis talking about Northern Wrestling. So that is on the YouTube channel and lots of other stuff. It's WPAN on YouTube. You can do a search. I don't have enough followers yet to be able to have a custom URL, but WPAN, you could find all of our old stuff. And I'm uploading a lot of new footage too, including, well, it's actually new footage that's of old footage. But it's one of the things that I uploaded is Triple H's first ever championship title win on the Independence. I know Mike Mills is a big fan of that. So that's on the YouTube channel. Also, if anyone's looking to do a podcast, I do podcast editing. You can look up crackpotpods.com. That's my website if you want to hook up with me and put a podcast together.
And he's underselling his work with the Wrestling Podcast About Nothing, like we were talking about in the beginning of the show. They've had numerous current WWE talents on their show when they were still in business as the Wrestling Podcast About Nothing. So make sure you check out all of Crockett's stuff there. He really did a lot of good work. And they did some great shows. I was on their show a bunch of times. I actually think the time we swerved you, Malonis and I, was better than the Uncivil War. I don't remember the title of that episode, but that was a fun one.
Uncivil War 2.
It was on Civil War 2. Okay, so there you go. That's true. God, it feels like that was 10 years ago now, but it really wasn't that long ago. But it definitely feels that way with the way the last year's been. So yeah, check out Crockett and all of the stuff there. He's actually got some really good stuff on that YouTube channel because not just Triple H's first match, but there's other rare things related to things that happened on the New England independent wrestling scene with some big name stars from today and yesteryear as well. On that note, I do need to take care of a couple of things before I throw it to Harper for some plugs. Check out Our Vantage Point, the Retro Wrestling Podcast, run by buddies of mine, Joe Murata and Michael Quinn, the northern version of BTT, slightly classier, definitely more professional, and definitely more professionally produced than us. Still a great show, and I appreciate Joe and Quinn for all their plugs over the years as they continue to go through the world of Northern wrestling, which is meh to me, but whatever. They do a good job covering that stuff, and I'll give them that. We're the Southern Fried; they're the Northern version. So give them a listen and check them out. And then also check out the Bottom Line Cast with Mike Prue and JV. They do our show, ECW show, on our Patreon feed, but they also do a show on the career of Stone Cold Steve Austin on their own free feed as well. And I'm about blown up. I think I took care of everything. I think Doc will be back next week unless he gets stuck in Mexico because he committed some kind of crime because he was too drunk and drunk off of his ass, because that's the type of stuff he does. Harper, you got anything before we get out of here? Are you ready to go to bed like I am?
No. Let's get the fuck.
I love it. All right, Harper, hit the tagline. Get us out of here.
Book it, bitch.